song just popped into my head?
What?
As our intro song?
What?
Youth of the Nation. In my brain, I was automatically like,
We are.
I just showed Drew that song for the first time, like last week. He had never heard it before.
Who sang it? POD?
POD.
Was that the only song they ever had?
No.
Really?
They had a lot of really good songs. That whole album, actually, I really liked.
Were they a Christian band?
I told Drew that they were, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, I don't actually know if they were like officially a Christian band.
Okay.
Or if they just sang about it sometimes. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me either. Anyways, hi, Hannah.
Hi. Oh, I looked at POD and it gave me the Pods, like, moving company.
Oh my gosh. Pods moving company. Yes,
Pods.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, you're drinking a LaCroix?
Aye. Hannah. Can we make it stop?
I don't know.
I don't understand why that's my filler.
I don't know.
I am ashamed.
It's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you.
I'm just thinking real hard about not touching my lashes, so.
As soon as you think about it, it's all you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Look at this. They're almost done. And then I could put a new... I mean, I could do the work and, like, file it off.
I was going to say, just wrap them up in some acetone.
I know.
Get that off there.
I just haven't had time because we're going on vacation. And literally, I have so much dirty laundry that I'm thinking about just picking
Air it out, girl.
No, I feel like I'm going to just pick it all up, throw it in my trunk, and go to the laundromat, like, around the corner, and just do it all in one load.
Yeah.
Instead of the 50 loads I'm going to have to do.
Yeah,
I
just have like 7 machines going at one time.
No, they have huge ones.
Really?
Like, huge.
Oh.
Yes. Like, I could do just 2 loads. And it would be done. And they are so fast. Like, yeah. I wash and dry because I have to take my weighted blanket because I sleep with a 20-pounder. I take that because when you wash it in my washer, it literally sounds like my washer will blow up. It's like bang, 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 bang. So I take it.
Like, help me.
Yeah, basically. So I take it to a laundromat, and it's like the best experience ever. Like, we missed out on laundromat days, I feel like. Like, that I feel like is a rite of passage, is to use a laundromat.
We should have hung out at the laundromat instead of parking lots.
Yes, that would be good. That would be good.
We were discussing how that was our hangout spot. Was like almost any parking lot.
I think I should get like one of those red lights outside my door that says like in recording.
We're like a therapist, the little like doorbell when the red light is flashing. Right. Don't come in. She has a client.
Yep.
It's me. I'm the client.
Yeah. Hi. Well, I tell them, I go, okay, I'm in a meeting with your TT. And they're like, okay.
In a meeting.
I'm in a meeting. I'm talking shit about you.
Right? What are you drinking? It's tea, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Just chamomile.
Chamomile?
Yeah, chamomile. Oh my gosh. Did I tell you that I went to a coffee stand and asked for chamomile tea? And the girl was like, what is that?
I think you did tell me about this, but continue. Tell the world.
I was like, chamomile tea.
You're like, am I saying it wrong?
Yeah, basically. And I was like, she was like, oh, is it like a tea bag? I go, yeah, that you put in hot water.
How old was she?
I don't know, like
12.
Anywhere between 16 and 18.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And she's like, I could check. And so like she comes back, she's like, yeah, we have chamomile tea. And I was like, okay.
Chamomile.
Yeah. I was like, can I have that with honey, please? And she was like, sure. And she was like, that's so funny. I've never had to do a tea bag before. And I'm like, ugh.
Never had to do a tea bag before, huh?
Ayo. I mean, personally, I've never teabagged anybody.
girl. What was I just gonna say? Gosh,
I
dang
don't
it.
know. I'm thrown off from tea bags.
I was gonna talk about the youth of the nation.
Oh.
The actual youths and how we're all doomed.
Mm.
But I don't understand because millennials, which you and I are,
Mm-hmm.
we
I
were
feel like
raised by boomers.
I feel like there's different stages of the groupings
There
because
totally is.
yeah, because
Totally.
we're so on the line with what is it?
Gen
Z?
Gen
What? No,
Gen Z. Yeah.
Gen Z. Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
Because we aren't X, that would be like Jason.
Yeah.
So I think we're technically Y, but we call ourselves millennials.
Mm.
So that would make the next one Gen Z.
After that, there's no more generations. Is that it?
That's the end of the world.
Okay.
I think Leah, shout out, hey girl.
Hey, girl.
I think she's a Gen Z,
Oh,
which makes sense because there are certainly some things that we do not click on. She thinks I'm so old sometimes,
that's funny.
which
Well,
that's
what's funny though is love her, but sometimes she makes me feel old.
fair.
I'll like be sitting there. I'm like, am I lame? I feel like I might be lame.
Am I a grandmother?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to tell her she gets roasted in this one.
Yeah. Well, she just has that like that that energy that I feel like we don't have anymore. Like that pep of life.
She's 25. That we're 7 years older than she is. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, she's got way more pep than I got.
So much.
Yeah, she's got fire.
Yeah, she's fiery.
And I'm like the smoke on the wind.
Smoke on the water.
Ooh.
Isn't that a thing? Isn't that a song?
I don't know.
Smoke on the water? It's got to be a song. Maybe I have the tune wrong. I don't know.
Well, you kind of sounded a little John Legendy.
Oh,
A little bit.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also think our parents were very involved too
Yes.
in our upbringing, so I think that kind of made us more mature.
Yep, I think that, but that's where I'm like so confused because we were raised by people who were involved
Mm-hmm.
and so we are involved with our kids. But I'm just like, is it really like the majority of kids? Like, was our upbringing really so rare?
Well, I also think
You
that
know?
like a lot of kids nowadays have two working parents where we had moms that were mostly home.
Yeah,
They
true.
had jobs here and there, but were mostly home.
My mom was home for the majority of my life until I was in high school.
Mm-hmm. Mine too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that makes a difference where you have a parent that's always home with you
Yeah.
instead of daycare raising you, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I just think about that all the time because people our age are now raising the next generation
Mm-hmm.
and people older than us too, obviously,
Yeah.
like the older millennials. And these kids don't know anything about anything.
I know.
And you're just like, I don't understand. Like I do know that the United States educational system
It's garbage.
is absolutely garbage and like
Yeah.
might as well not even send kids to school because they don't learn anything.
Yeah.
Nothing important at least.
Yeah.
And now they're even like changing and selective on even like the history
Yeah.
of the United States and the world that they're choosing to teach people. So it's like, I told Drew the other day that like my dream is not necessarily to be like a stay-at-home mom. I do want that, but the longer that I'm unemployed, the more I'm like, maybe I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. But I would much rather be a stay-at-home mom and be able to homeschool Grady
Yeah.
and Ezra to ensure that they learn what they need to learn,
Yeah.
even though it might make me go gray immediately.
I tell you, I'd done it. It's awful.
Yeah, but like the schools are so terrifying now.
Yeah.
Like with even the like words. I would definitely prefer to either homeschool or keep them in a private Christian school.
Yeah.
And I want to know exactly what's being taught. Like I'm going to be that mom who's like, show me the curriculum.
Yeah.
And like I will probably read through their books and stuff just to make sure that like what's in there is accurate and or that they're not skipping things or whatever. Just because people can't be trusted anymore.
Well, I looked into private schools around here and it is not affordable. So that real sucks.
Yeah.
It's yeah, especially 3 kids. Trying to put 3 kids. I mean, and they do discounts for, if you have multiple kids, but it's not enough. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
it is. It's crazy expensive. That's where like either I have to stay home and do it myself, or I have to find a job that pays me enough money that we can afford to put them in the things that I want to put them.
I did it both. I was homeschooled and did private school. You did private school and public school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the good thing about like when I went to public school, and I would probably do this with my kids too, depending on where the world is at when they finally get to high school. But I did appreciate that my parents let me choose if I wanted to stay in the Christian school or go experience public school.
Mm-hmm.
Because, my dad and my brother actually both, Jason and my dad, both say that like basically once you're, is she doing it again?
No,
Oh,
she's just going at it.
yeah. Both my dad and my oldest brother both say, and I agree with them. They've told me like basically by the time your kids get to be like 13, 14, 15, you're done. Like
Yeah.
you should hopefully have the human being that they're mostly going to be, like you've instilled in them everything you possibly can. And now you have to kind of trust them to navigate throughout the rest of their life, right? Like you're obviously still there and guiding them and you're not letting them just go do whatever they want, obviously.
Yeah, but their like basis is there. I mean,
Right. But
I could agree with that. By the time I was that age, I knew what I wanted and didn't want and
what you believed and didn't
what I believed
believe.
and didn't believe. Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's what when I forget if my dad or my brother was the first one to tell me about that or like give me that advice.
Yeah.
But when I first heard it, I was like, that's so true. Like looking back on my own life, by the time I was in high school, I already knew the
Well,
majority
not to
of
say
what
you're not gonna, make dumb mistakes as a teenager, obviously.
teenagers are
But
stupid.
yeah. But but yeah, no,
But like
I get what you're saying. Your core, your
yeah,
deep
the
down
core,
core.
the foundations.
Even if, you're at that age where like you hide your core because you want other people to see you as something different, you still like know what it is you truly believe.
Mm-hmm. And if
Yeah.
you know the Lord and you have the Holy Spirit like talking to you as like your conscience, then you have that piece as well.
Yeah.
Whether you choose to ignore him or not, that's also up to you, but at least you have it,
We never ignored it.
No, never.
Never.
Turn the volume all the way down.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the generation. I don't understand how people like me and older than me can raise kids who have absolutely no idea what is going on in the world or like how to live their own lives.
Right.
It's like mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Something as simple as knowing what chamomile tea is. I
Right.
mean, I don't know. I'm worried about the state of our
Well,
nation
heck,
in many,
like
many ways.
I was talking with a girl who was like, "Yeah, I really need to learn how to cook." Also, coffee stand. I'm not dissing coffee stand girls. I just know that it is a very like young group that
Sure.
usually is in them. But it was a coffee stand once again.
You also frequent them often.
Shh. I've done better. I got my own espresso maker.
Good job.
But yeah, she was saying how like she's really got to start learning how to cook because she's going to be graduating soon and wants to be able to like cook food for herself. And she was like, yeah, like I don't know, I think I'll just start out small, like those Kraft mac and cheese boxes. I was like, okay. I was like, you've
How
never
old you
made
gotta be?
I was like,
How old?
you've never made like a mac and cheese box? And she was like, well, I've done like easy mac where you just put the water in and put it in the microwave. She's like, but I've never done like stovetop mac and cheese. And I was like, okay. I was like, I make 8 of those a day.
Yeah, you learned that when you're like, not you, but like us, our generation probably learned that when we were like 12.
Probably earlier for me because you know me and my mac and cheese.
True. That just made me think of my brother and sister-in-law. They still to this day bring up there was one time that they were like watching me because my parents were leaving for something.
Uh-huh.
And my mom asked them to make me a sandwich. And Jason and Brandy both were like, she's 12. Can she not make herself a sandwich? And my mom was like, just make her a sandwich. Which, as being 12, I'm sure I was probably thinking, yes, I can absolutely make my own sandwich. I don't even remember this happening. I just know that they bring it up all the time. And I think it's so funny because here I am saying I could probably make my own mac and cheese. And they'd probably be like, no, you could not.
That's funny.
Oh, boy.
Well, then you had me when I was babysat by my brother. I ate the powder of the mac and cheese, just like stuck my finger in it. And then he convinced me that I was going to die. He was like, did you know that it's poison if you eat it before it's cooked? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're going to die. Sorry. That was my brother.
Oh, Kyle.
Fun times, man.
Why do brothers do that?
I don't know. Your brother, love him. Your brother was the worst.
Well, he's the middle child, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First time I stayed the night at her house. Your dad was out of town, and your brother shows up in his
Wankster attire.
Yes, he had the piercing in his lip. He had, I think, an eyebrow piercing too. Comes in, you know. He goes, "Are you my sister's friend?" And then he called me that like the rest of life. He calls me sister's friend. But I was like, yeah. When my dad's not here, I'm the man of the house. And I'm like,
okay, yourself a little.
And then he leaves, and you're like, don't listen to him. He's dumb. And I'm just like,
oh, yeah. I have lots of fun memories of Nate.
Yeah, I have lots of fun memories of our sleepovers. Like when you and I were, I feel like it was possibly the same night. I think you were like either testing me or trying to like ruin my life or scare me away. I don't know. We were laying in your bed and you're like, my grandpa died in this bed. And I was like, what? I probably told my mom I never wanted to stay again.
Oh my gosh. He did though. He died in that room. Not in my bed.
In your room.
In my room. So bad. Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. That was weird.
You were rude.
I had to figure out if you were, the real deal.
I mean, I guess if that's the test you want to do, like somebody died in this room. Yeah, we had a lot of shenanigans.
We did.
We even ran through Europe together.
Oh man. Europe with my gay boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You heard that right, folks?
Didn't? Well, okay. Everyone had suspicions, but Nikki. I mean, he's a ballerina.
Now he is. He wasn't when I met him.
No, he just, I don't know.
Hannah, if you legit had these thoughts when we were dating and you didn't say anything to me, then I blame you.
Okay, but I mean, he was still dating you. Like, I don't know. The only thing I felt like was weird was watching you
Wait,
with
be
other.
careful because he might watch this. I
Oh, I'm
doubt it.
not gonna be like mean to him.
Okay, good.
But what I did think was weird was like watching you with your previous boyfriends and stuff. Like, there was a lot more affection that went on, and I didn't really feel.
Sorry, I just swallowed my gum. Oh my God.
I wasn't trying to be dirty with the affection comment.
Oh my gosh. I haven't done that since I was like 10. Accidentally swallowed my gum. Okay, continue. Not affectionate.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I just felt like you guys gave off more of really good friend vibes than like two people in love with each other kind of thing. Yeah.
Eyelashes.
But
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
I think that was such a strange relationship for me because to
Yeah.
your point, it was not publicly, it wasn't as affectionate.
Yeah.
So then I felt almost like starved of affection, but I
Yeah.
don't think I even in the moment, like thinking back then, I don't think it was like an active thought.
Yeah.
But I like now, right now that I'm thinking about it, I do recall like whenever he would like hold my hand or like hug on me, I would like feel like it was almost like a love bomb, but he wasn't
Yeah.
abusive. Like it wasn't a bad relationship in any way.
Yeah.
But it was like anytime he would like hug me or hold my hand or like show me affection, I was like
Yeah.
like so thirsty for it. Um but I did always have like in the back of my mind like he never tried
He never put the moves on you.
anything.
No.
Like we would kiss. I feel like I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that we made out,
Yeah.
and that was the extent of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine, and that's actually good. And in the moment, I was like, this is just like a real relationship. Like this is
Right?
a good thing, you
He's
know.
taking his time. He's so
Yeah,
sweet.
exactly. Like that's truly what I thought, and it was like
Mm-hmm.
such a refreshing change because I dated a bunch of dogs.
Mm-hmm.
um, so
Not
yeah,
realizing that he just didn't want your
yeah,
situation.
he just wasn't physically attracted to me. Like I had a V where he would rather see a P.
Yeah.
Shout out to Easy A for that line.
Right? Yeah. But, it was great. We went to Europe to go visit him.
Yeah, if
He
it
broke
weren't for
up
him,
with
we
you
would have
there.
never done that.
He
If it
broke up
wasn't
with you
for
there.
him, yeah, thanks a lot for that too.
And then we got trapped there because of a volcano in Iceland.
Let's just tell the whole story. So
Okay.
we're 18 years old,
Mm-hmm.
right? We're 18. Max and I had been dating for a year at this point.
Yeah.
No, for
Longer.
longer.
Because
Because
you
we
guys dated
dated.
for a while and then he left for a long time.
Yeah, did we date for like 6 months before he left? Or
I,
was it a whole year before he even left?
I'm not
Whatever. I'm
really
gonna
sure.
say it was 6 months because I don't think it was my entire senior year.
Yeah.
So we'll just call it we dated for the last 6 months of our senior year, and then he went back to Germany, and then me and Hannah moved to Oregon and lived
Mm-hmm.
with my brother because we just had to get out of small town
Yeah,
Idaho.
we had to be grown-ups
We had to be grown ups
and move in with your brother.
and moved in with my
With
brother.
his wife and 2 kids.
Yeah. Slept in the same bed for the whole
Slept in
year.
the same bed.
Mm-hmm.
Cuddle buddies.
Yep. Yep. We both worked at Kohl's.
Mm-hmm.
We both temporarily worked at the daycare that my sister ran from the house.
Yep.
So rarely left the house to do anything
Yep.
ever. Had a hard time making friends. And then I decided, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyways, then we save up, we're going to go to Europe because that's where Max is. And we hadn't seen each other in like a year.
Save up.
Save up. or something like that. But
Nikki
yeah,
went by the hair on her teeth.
yeah.
I'll
But I
never
don't
forget.
remember stressing out about that. Like once we were there.
I mean, we stressed when we got trapped because then you ran out of money, but I was a psychopath. I was a very responsible 18-year-old who cashed in her trust fund to buy tickets and go to Europe.
And that's on being 18.
Woo! Also, thank God I did, though, because that's what got you and I back home.
Right. I mean, in reality, I'm sure our parents would have done something to get
Yeah,
us.
but still.
But still, yeah.
I had those funds, so.
Thank you for saving me. So we get to Germany. We land in Germany. We hang out with Max and his friends. We stay at his house, his parents' house.
Mm-hmm.
We do a lot of drinking. Oh my gosh, Hannah.
And clubbing.
I found the vodka that we drank in Germany
Vodka?
at my local alcohol store.
Liquor store?
I was like, what is that called? Anyways, I found it and I took a picture of it and then I forgot to send it to you. But I told Ryan that I literally went in, because you can drink at 18 in Europe, for anybody who isn't aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember walking into the liquor store, or just the store there.
Yeah.
And we bought a handle of vodka and a 2-liter of cola.
It was so gross.
It was terrible. It was the most disgusting vodka I've ever
You
had.
and I mean, we slammed back, almost an entire liter of vodka in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, because, and then we started out drinking it out of like little cups that we also bought from the store, and we were like mixing it. And then after we were like pretty already gone, we were just like shooting it and chasing it and shooting it and chasing it.
I never forget that, like, we ended up on a rooftop somewhere. Do you remember?
I do.
And I was drinking vodka, just straight vodka. There was nothing else in that cup.
Yeah.
And I was like, this tastes like water. And you were like, Hannah. And I was like, it does. It tastes like water. And you were like, let me try it. And you like took like a huge gulp and you were like, and you were like, this isn't water. You're like, you need to stop. But then we were like climbing down the ladder to like get down off the roof. And I was like, I don't know how I got up here. How did we get up here? It was awful. It was bad. We should not. And then Max and I were singing the Phantom of the Opera under a bridge. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
We went to an absinthe bar.
Mm-hmm.
And we did absinthe shots. And then
I remember when we were at that,
I hallucinated.
Bar, I was terrified because I had never heard like scary stories about absinthe. And so I was like, either we're going to die or we're going to hallucinate and then we'll die, or somebody's going to be in big trouble.
I hallucinated. You remember? I thought there was rats everywhere and I was jumping on people's backs because I thought there was rats.
Yep.
And then that girl, I don't know who she was. I don't even know if her real name was Peach. All I knew is that we called her Peach. And she just starts wandering out in the middle of traffic after doing the absinthe. And we were like trying to drag her back. Anyways, so yeah, I thought there was rats everywhere. And that was not good. That was not good. I also remember we were getting onto a train to go to a nightclub across the city, right? Mm-hmm. And Max was telling us, he was like, okay, like, I know you guys are hammered. He goes, but you got to act normal getting onto this train. And we're like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we can. We're
totally sitting on a bench and I'm like, oh my God, be normal, be normal, be normal, be normal. And then I look and there's like this little speck on the ground that I was just staring at. And I was like, whoa, why is that speck coming up to my face? Like, it was like, all of a sudden the speck was just coming closer and closer and closer. And I was like, what is happening? It was me face planting right as the train was pulling up. I just face planted right off the bench. And you were just laying across the bench laughing. And Max was trying to get me up off the ground so that we were allowed to get onto the train.
Dude, So much alcohol was consumed on that trip.
You know what's crazy to me is I have never, ever, ever drank like that again.
Why
Ever.
would you?
I know, but I mean, like, I can't even stomach it. I don't know how.
I still have issues drinking vodka.
Really?
But I think it ties in both with our trip to Europe and also the time that I lived in the condo with my 2
Okay.
roommates.
Yeah.
It would be like a Tuesday night and we would just be playing quarters until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
and then we'd go to work at the bank the next day. But it was always vodka. And so now to
Yeah.
this day, if I can taste vodka,
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of me. I mean, I swear, I tell people all the time that you and I basically pickled our livers in Europe. Like,
Yeah.
it was bad. There was
Yeah.
a lot of alcohol. And then we went with his class to Scotland.
To Scotland, to Glasgow.
To Glasgow. Started out great. You know,
It was
started
all
out great. And then
it took a turn.
it took a turn. And here's the thing. We were supposed to fly back from Scotland to Germany and literally the next day take a flight home.
Well, you forgot about Poland.
Well, you guys weren't broken up yet.
No, I think it was before Scotland that we went to Poland.
Yeah, we went to Poland.
But
But
anyway.
we spent Easter there with his family. That was great. But we go to Scotland. I think he figured like it was going to be like our last day in Scotland and he was going to break up with you because we were going to fly home and then leave. But then the volcano went off and we got stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
We were stuck there and you guys were broken up.
I'm having like PTSD.
I remember going down to the hotel bar and it was with one of his other friends, right? They gave me a beer that literally you could chew on. It was so strong. And the bartender was like, "You look troubled." And I'm like, "My friend is breaking up with my other friend upstairs and I don't know what to do." And he was like, "Oh, okay." And then the next morning, "Your flight's been canceled." We were so out of money that we were picking up the McDonald's Monopoly pieces, remember, off the sidewalk and getting like the free food
I do remember
from
that.
those pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. And like converting, like, because I had a bunch of money converted to, what was it? The euro, right? In Germany. And then it was sterling pound in Scotland. And that conversion gave you nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, oh, it was bad. I was like, okay. So we ended up having to take what? Trains, ferries, buses, all of that just to get back to Germany. And then we were stuck in Germany for another, what, week or so?
I think it was 2 more weeks.
Something.
I think our like month-long trip ended up being like almost 2 months.
Yeah. And you guys are broken up.
And we were still staying at his house and we still slept in the same bed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was interesting. That's for sure. I think also one of the things that I remember from that trip that made me so mad was how all of his friends could speak English.
Oh my gosh.
But they wouldn't in front of us. They would all speak in German.
I was just going to bring that up because that was one of the reasons that he claimed that he was breaking up with me was because they tried to play that game Telephone, but they were playing it in German.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but then they asked me to play too, and I get really insecure if I don't know things, and I hate looking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I would rather just remove myself so I don't look dumb.
Yeah.
And so they were like trying to get me to play this game, and I was like, "No, I'm good. No, I'm good." And I already kind of had a problem with one of his friends, because I felt like she didn't like me, and that she was
I know
being
which one you're talking about too.
And so I was like, I'm not trying to hang out with you if I don't have to, kind of thing. And he was like saying how I wouldn't even play a game with his friends. So I wasn't trying to.
They never even gave us a chance. We went to a very intimate house party and you and I literally sat there the whole time in silence because they just kept talking in German.
Yeah.
And it was super rude. But Karma was a bitch because when we went to Scotland, they couldn't understand the Scottish accent at all. And so
Yep.
they'd be like, "What did they say?" And we'd be like, "Oh, it's fine, we got it."
Yeah.
And they were like, "No, like what did they say?" And we're like, "Oh, weird."
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that was like when he mentioned that as one of the reasons, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Sorry that I didn't want to play a German language game.
Right?
I don't know German.
We know Sprechen Sie Deutsch.
Right. I honestly felt like they wanted me to play, not him, but like his friends wanted me to play so that they could make fun of me, which is why I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that to him because he was breaking up with me. So I was just like, okay. Did I even cry? I don't remember if I cried or not. I did?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But did I cry because I was really upset, or did I cry because that sucks and we're stuck here?
I don't know. There was a lot of crying to be had. But the thing was that we were drunk a lot too. And that brought out just more tears.
Yeah.
And then I remember us getting so mad because we were like stuck there. And there was that weird, ominous singing under the bridge. And we were like, basically, we got to the point where we're like, if we hear that, or if we ever hear another bagpipe again, we were going to start kicking babies, is what we said.
Yep. But we got a good trip out of it. And
right? Well, see, I started getting complacent. I had really bad depression at that point. I didn't realize how bad of like a hormone deficiency I had. So I was super depressed. And I just was basically like, well, we're stuck here. I'm going to start looking for a job, an apartment, like, I guess this is my life now. And our moms were bawling their brains out when we would FaceTime them. We went to the embassy and they were like, well, Europe is sending ships over to get our people from America, but America basically doesn't care about you.
Okay.
They were like, so you're stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if no one understands the situation, it was because there was so much ash that was shot into the sky from the volcano that planes couldn't fly.
It was the Reykjavik volcano.
Oh, you said it so good. I think you said that right, too.
It's burned in my brain as a memory.
Well, do you remember when I came and visited you in Nashville and that same volcano went off?
No, I don't remember that.
I do, because I was like, I am cursed.
It's your fault.
No, but like seriously, I feel like every time I travel, there's some kind of weird natural disaster. Like when I went and saw you in Nashville, that volcano went off and you guys had like crazy flash flooding warnings. When I went to California, not this last time, but the time before, all the coasts had like a very small like tsunami and it flooded and it snowed in California. Southern California snowed. Went to Hawaii, there was a hurricane. Did anything happen when I went to Cleveland? I don't think anything happened. I think enough happened.
Yeah, it was after everything else happened. I think we had quite enough.
Yeah, I don't think there was any natural disaster then.
Yeah, eyelashes.
But yeah, so I don't know. I just call all of the natural disasters to me, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
But yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, fun times. And we have not been, other than my honeymoon, I have not been out of the country since.
Yeah.
And that makes me so sad because I really, really wanted to travel the world.
I know.
I still do. I'll see like videos of other people going almost anywhere. And I'm like, I want to do that.
Right. I know. Matt and I really want to do Ireland.
Yeah. Ireland, Italy. I'd love to go to London and actually like see it.
London instead of during our escape.
Yeah. Instead of just Heathrow train station.
Yeah.
I would love to actually go outside.
Yeah. Do you remember that time when we were in Dover right before we got onto the ferry? The teacher that we were with, because we were with Max's class, he was like, he turns and looks at us and he goes, don't talk. Don't let them know that you're American because like citizens have priority.
Oh.
And remember those guys that came on the bus and they had like freaking like giant guns and they just like walked
Oh.
through and you and I were like and they went off the bus and we were like, okay.
Oh my gosh, no, I don't remember that at
Oh,
all.
I do.
Burned it out of my memory.
Yeah, probably. Because,
Oh my gosh.
dumped and all.
Yeah, I was just in a fog.
I'll never forget how okay, so I have a very horrible fear of public restrooms. Hate them. That's why fun times when I was drunk and you were drunk in Europe and you were throwing up in one of the nightclubs the whole time, I was just screaming at you not to touch the toilet. To where I was holding your hair back and your arms. You were laid literally just like, floating above the toilet. Because I was like, don't touch the toilet. But I was so stoked when we were on that ferry. Because it was a ferry to France. Their toilet seats. It sanitizes itself, remember? And then you push a button and it pulls out a new like plastic cover. I was like,
these are the coolest things ever.
I was like, I could pee everywhere here.
I have so much freedom here.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Funny.
Yeah. I do think that you and I should plan a trip.
Oh, for sure.
Like, we should go back to Europe and do it right this time.
For sure.
Maybe we'll even hit up Max and have him be our tour guide.
Oh. Sorry, Max.
He has like...
He's been all over.
Yeah, throughout the years that we've like randomly connected or whatever. He's like lived
Spain, in a lot of places. He's gone to Israel.
Yeah. One time he told me that he was in the land of my people.
Oh.
Portugal.
Well, he did that to me too when he was in Israel. Yeah. He's like, I'm in the land of your people.
Yeah.
I was like,
yep.
Neat. I'm in Idaho.
But we do need to plan a trip because I really, really, really want to go. And now that my passport is updated, I have 10 years to do something with it.
I know. But here's the thing. My husband has never been to Europe. Can we bring the husbands?
Fine.
Like, my husband...
Who's gonna watch our kids?
My husband is uncultured swine.
So is mine. I think the only place outside of the U.S. that Ryan has ever been is Mexico.
Okay. Matt's never even been to Mexico, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, he only went to Mexico for his first honeymoon, so we don't talk about it.
Oh.
It doesn't exist.
Where did you guys go again on your...
Oh, that's cool. And then we went to St. Lucia.
Okay.
But still.
But Matt's been to New York, and I haven't, and I want to go to New York.
I haven't been either, but honestly, I'm terrified to go there now.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of terrified to go to Europe, too.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like
New York.
I feel like we would get like kept there. I don't know.
We're gonna get taken.
Not taken. I don't think we're gonna be like trafficked. I don't honestly think I'm the body type to be trafficked. I'm too heavy to carry.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I don't think that I'm quite their demographic either.
No.
But yeah. I guess if we have to bring our husbands, we can. But it's cheaper for only 2 people, and then they can stay and watch the kids.
This is true. I know.
So. And I'm not trying to bring my kids with us.
Oh, no.
I mean, on one hand, I would actually really love that because I do want my kids to experience things like that. But not right now. They're way too young.
I don't want them to experience anything.
I want them to get away from me. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to plan that, though. I do need a job, though, first.
Yeah.
Because I certainly can't go anytime soon. No. Speaking of jobs, do you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm speaking it. I'm putting it on the internet. It has to come true now.
Right?
I think I'm going to start my own couple of businesses.
Oh.
I think I'm looking into doing a virtual assistant position.
Okay.
And or...
Is that kind of like the little like paperclip guy in the Word 2000?
Yes.
Clippy.
Yeah. No. I haven't fully decided what I want my like niche to be.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, usually virtual assistants do like the admin work, like
Okay.
scheduling, project management for people who don't want to do that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
which I would probably be great. Like I could do data entry or whatever. I just don't want to
Can you
be,
be our virtual assistant?
yes. For the podcast, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's the other thing is I'm also looking into maybe doing video editing. So if like
Oh.
YouTubers or companies or whatever need videos updated or what's the word I'm looking for? Edited, gosh, for
That's
social
cool.
media, I would be able to do that for them.
There you go.
And then also I'm looking into potentially being a public notary,
That's a thing.
the kind that like real estate agents would use to
Okay.
like do loan documents and stuff.
Yeah.
Because you can make pretty good money for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like not a lot of hours of work.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm looking into is like doing my own thing, doing like where I don't have to work like 40 hours a week,
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. I can just do what I need to do when I need to do it. And then when I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
But it still pays the bills.
Pays the bills. Only downside.
Yeah. Which is why I'm looking into
Insurance.
multiple options because I don't want to just put all my eggs in one basket,
Yeah.
as they say. So, real estate photography is another thing that my sister-in-law recommended because she has somebody because she does real estate and she has somebody that does her photos.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that he just uses his iPhone and
Oh.
everything he does still looks fantastic. So I was like, well, shoot.
Brandy. What the heck?
Whoop, busted.
Hmm. I
Oh,
see.
that's funny. Yeah.
I see.
Hit her up. Yeah, so I'm looking into all of those things. Ryan had an interview today for
Oh.
I don't want to say too much because I don't know.
Yeah.
He hasn't given me consent. But he had an interview this morning with something that's very exciting.
Oh.
So fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still need a job though. It's not going to be anything where I don't have to have a job. But still.
Still.
So thoughts and prayers, please. For not only Ryan, but also myself.
I want a job.
Do virtual assisting or something like that. You don't even have to work.
No, but like I don't have time for a job. How am I going to have a job with 3 children home?
That's the point. That's the whole point of being a virtual assistant or doing something where you are your own boss.
I guess that's true.
Because you
Well,
tell the
but at the
client
same time,
when you're
I would
available.
have to say editing these plus editing photos has really taken a lot of time. My last photo shoot I did had 700 photos to go through. I was like,
Yikes. That's a lot. But as far as editing these, you just have to tell me that you want me to edit it and I will edit
I know, but at the same time, like, I don't mind. What else do I have? I'm a stay-at-home mom with 3 kids that are fighting at the moment.
Right. Oh, I wanted to ask your opinion on the Britney Spears conspiracies.
Oh my.
Do you think she's okay?
No.
I don't either. Do you think they're gonna like kill her off soon?
I don't know about that. I haven't heard that.
They're trying to tell everybody that she's a meth head.
Oh.
That's the newest thing. Is that
I
like
thought
her
she just
family
went
is
to like
so
some kind of rehab. Didn't she?
I don't know. I don't think that was recent.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought she went to some kind of like mental kind of like
Oh, I think
thing.
the mental facility, yes, I think she has
Okay.
been there somewhat recently. But now even like Federline and her boys
Mm-hmm.
and like her mom and her sister, like everybody who's not great for her
Mm-hmm.
are all saying like we think that she's really in over her head with meth use and we're scared for her life and blah blah
Oh,
blah blah
jeez.
blah. And it's like mirroring another artist. Who was it? Dang it, now I'm
But at
forgetting.
the
But
same time, I feel like they put her there.
yes. But like you see all those crazy videos that she posts on like Instagram
Yes.
of like dancing. And I watched a conspiracy video on it yesterday and they were saying how like Britney has rhythm. Britney can dance.
Yeah.
And whoever
And
is
all
posting
this is
these,
spinning. And then
and it's off tempo. Like it's not good dancing. And we all know Britney, we all know Britney can dance. So it's like, who is this? And with AI, it's not like it's hard
I know.
to.
I watched this whole thing on freaking teeth with her.
Yeah, teeth. She's never had a gap in her teeth before, and now
Yeah.
she does.
And then like, well, this whole thing of like they were showing videos of her because she always does like that same face where she goes like that. But like in every picture, like in the past, you could see like her bottom row of teeth. And like this was showing like you can barely ever see a bottom row. I don't know. It's all craziness. Who knows anymore? That girl was
But
locked up for so long that like who knows?
yeah. And they have a whole room that's a green screen room. Her husband uses a green screen room for, I don't know, his TikToks or something. But that's another part of the conspiracy is like all of these dance videos. It looks like it's somebody dancing in front of the green screen. Like you can see like that weird
it
outline
glitches.
that happens.
Yeah.
And the glitches and stuff. So they're just saying it's somebody else pretending to be her using AI to put her face over theirs. And they're using that green screen room to like show that she's totally fine, but like nobody knows if she's actually fine.
Well, because what's crazy is she's free, but you never see her photographed outside.
Right, because she rarely leaves her house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
But then everybody went to her wedding. Was that her?
Yeah, and that's another weird thing. Because why were there so many celebrities there that she's not even really friends with? Like Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And then they took that picture with like, who was it? Mariah Carey, I think, and Selena and Madonna and a couple other people. And it was like a very staged photo with all these powerful women. But it's like, but why? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, man.
It's so strange. I'm almost afraid to go down the rabbit hole because I feel like I'll get completely
Well, have you ever gone down the rabbit hole of the whole Avril Lavigne died?
I've never done the rabbit hole, but I have heard the conspiracies.
Yeah. That there's like that she died and the girl who is now Avril Lavigne isn't really her.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
There's a lot of conspiracies that like, I don't know, 10 years ago, if I would have heard them, I would have been like, oh my gosh. Like,
yeah.
It's not a conspiracy. Shut up. But now, with the way the world has changed in the last 4 years, I'm like, I believe every single one of them. I bet you they're all true.
They're all true. Every single one of them.
Seriously, everything is so jacked these days.
I know.
Wowza.
Well,
wow, see you later. A whole hour. I bet you usable content is still only like 45 minutes.
I mean,
but that's fine. 45 minutes is not a bad length.
No. We only had to yell at children one time.
Yeah.
Twice, maybe.
All right. Well, I guess we'll close it out on that.
All right.
Catch you next time.